Hi guys, so we're training at home once more. So this is a continuation video of the first one, Juji Gatame from closed guard. So what we're doing in this video is going over some ways to strengthen our Juji Gatame. So when our opponent does the common counters to it. There's a few different counters and there's a few different ways to counter those counters. But first I'll quickly go over the Juji from closed guard, real brief. Please make sure you watch the first video with the more details of how to set up the Juji from closed. Once we go over that, we're going to go through the common ways that your partner will give you trouble from there, right? Common problems. So if I'm here with Rubes, we've seen this in the last video, somehow get the arm to the center line. There's many different ways to control the posture. Make sure you don't have your partner too far away when you're trying the Juji. So this is not time to do a Juji Gatame. The shoulders are too far away. This would be something else, like one of Ruby's favorites, the hip bump sweep. Boom, right? Juji's when your partner's shoulders are around a 45-degree angle, not straight up and down, around a 45. So how do we control? We've got the gi, you can grab the collar. I really like this sort of cross grip. You can go to the back of the neck, no gi style, whatever you like. Once we get here, you're in that top lock position. This is where things are looking real good. By the way, you can finish your arm right here. But we're going for a full Juji, so our leg comes over the head. So make sure we do this pinching and pivot action first. Leg comes over the head. You want your knee higher than their head. But for whatever reason, you're a bit lazy with that leg, you're a bit lazy with your back leg, something went wrong, and they start to stack you up. This is a big problem. Ruby now has a strong ability to be able to rip her arm out and go towards my back. Not great. So, what do we do in this situation? The most simple one, which we go to first, once you're in this position, as they go to stack, you raise your hip. So now this is a super quick way to get an arm bar. See how my hips are well off the floor? Great way to get the Juji when you're getting stacked. So one more time, as we're going here, so watch Ruby goes to stack me, I just raise my hips up with her. And now it's straight on. This is very devastating for the person trying to stack you. Like it comes on super quick, it's bang, straight away. Get those hips up off the floor if you feel that stacking, and that'll serve you well majority of the time. So now, let's say Ruby drives a bit more force, she puts up on her leg, and now she starts to stack me again, rips that arm out, and starts to come around the back. Okay, that's a problem. So now, a little bit better angle for this one. Now we're going for the Juji, right, and our partner's really stacking us up. How have we got here? Angled, leg over their head. So see, right here, my feet, where my feet are pushing. I'm pushing straight back into Ruby where she's got support. That's the power of my feet are driving straight where she's got her support leg. So what we're going to do is change the angle. So now instead of driving my feet this way, I drive them more towards her shoulders and her head. So switching from here to here. Now when I push, she falls straight back down. Straight back on her back to finish the Juji Gatame. So we're changing the angle. You don't want to push your legs straight back where their power is. Change the angle of your feet and you put them back over their top shoulder. So once again, so we're here. Center line, posture control, over the top, pivoting, leg over, looking good. So you're getting driven in. See where my feet are? I'm driving straight into where Ruby's got power. Change the angle so my feet move this way. See? Put it straight back down. Now, hold the arm, finish Juji across the hip. That's another great way to deal with the stacking. There is a third way, is where you have been stacked, like you find yourself, your knees are to your face. You can't change the angle, you can't raise your hips because you're already folded. Your hips are already folded in like this. You're like, oh my God, I'm stacked up underneath. So you're a little bit delayed in your reaction. So how do we do with that? This is a roll through, okay? So Ruby's here, just stacking your knees to this one, she stacks me out, great. My knees are already at my face, drive right into my, so this works best. Now I'm really stacked up. My thighs are on my chest. So my hand reaches through to the far hip, yeah? And I roll my shoulders through and out. And I end up in this position here. So I've still got the arm. You can finish the Juji Gatame from here, still going across the hip. It's just that I'm basically belly down. But you can do it from here, but what I would suggest, if you can reach the far leg, go for the far leg. If you can reach the near one, that works. But if you can reach the far leg, grab that. And pull those legs towards you, and bring them straight back over. And then we're straight back into the position that's pretty common for arm bars, straight across the hip, and we're good to go. So it's called a roll through, roll out the back, right? So this is when you have been fully stacked up in your knees, you find yourself here, like this. Your hand comes through and you roll back through. So I'll do that one more time. So if we're here, angle, over here, right? Usually, we might have even done a speed one, we just got to here straight away. Your legs are drive to your face, see, like I'm stacked, I'm folded. Bridging up from here won't work if your partner's bigger and stronger than you. Changing the angle, you're just too stuck, everything's too clamped in. So my hand comes out to the back, always on the far hip, and I roll through. Ruby can stay on her knees or roll over. Stay on your knees, this one, Rubes. And I can finish it here. Or, once we're here, I can finish the armbar, or I can grab her legs. Oh, you're right there, Rube. I'll put it down this side. Boom. And go again. One more time. So we're here. Getting stacked up. Folded. Okay. Oh, roll through. Finish here, or grab the far leg. Take them over. Pull them across the hip. That's rolling through out the back door. So there's a few ways to deal with stacking. So now, commonly as well, you'll find your partner being able to skate when they're on their back. There's a few things they can do. One thing they can do is scissor their legs and come back up on top. So what do I mean? Yep, spin around like this. Yep. So we're looking good here. Everything's great. But my partner starts to scissor your legs, Rubes, and starts to come back up on their knees, and we're back to where we were. I don't want this to happen. Once I put them on their back, they're back. I want them to stay here. No one can get up putting their knees on the floor until they scissor their legs. So as they go to scissor the legs, just hook the leg. Hooking the leg. That's why you would always suggest to have this arm ready and free. It can hook the leg. Go again. See, easy hook. Also, the hand that's free on this side can do hooking the leg under. It can go over. But my absolute favorite, if they start to roll in like this, I like to go over the hip. So I'm hugging the hip tight. So Ruby tries to come in now. Her hips are just pushing into me. It's very difficult for her to get up. Now I come back on top. So there's a little extra movement you've got to do here, but it pays well. So my foot comes off the head and helps me push forward. So now I've got my weight back on top of Ruby. Now I can finish armbar right from here. I always like to be able to finish my arm bars with my weight on them if I can, and finish this way. So once again, you've set into this armbar. You might even set this up from mount or side control or knee on belly or something, right? You're getting to here, they roll in, they're very explosive and start to roll in. You're too late to grab the leg, hold the hip. Take your foot off, drive back on top, come back on the top here, and boom, you can finish your armbar right from here. It's a super strong way, one of my favorite ways to finish if I'm setting it up from here. So this arm needs to be free to do many things, right? The other part of this arm's for, you can use it as an elbow post or a hand post, is if your partner starts to shrimp away and get this elbow to the floor. Now, obviously there's no armbar here because the arm's gone, right? So this hand needs to be able to post, so move away, Rube, so I can follow. Now that is the most important job, making sure you stay connected. So abort everything, make sure that you always stay connected. Stay connected, stay connected. Grab the leg, stay connected. Now, that's common, grabbing the hip, all good. But another thing that people do, and you only train for 5 minutes before you realize, oh, my arm's getting extended, I grab my hands together. What do? There's so many different ways, right? So what we're gonna practice today, move back to the center of the mat again. Put the camera, okay. So hands connected like this. You'll see endless variations of how to break the hands and they're all good, right? This is one of my favorites if it's available. So you can use your legs or whatever, to kick it or however, whatever way you like. But one of the strong ways that I want everyone to look at today is, once I'm ready here, I like to quickly switch to grips. So no matter what, if I feel like I'm compromised this position, always switch back, ready to go with this hand. But when you feel stable and established, I switch, right? Because there's a reason. I want to switch and hold that to my chest. Like how I move it to the side of my chest, and I want to get my chest connected to the forearm. I want to get close to it. I don't want to be reaching for it like this. So I go across to the side and I reach through here. So now it's my elbow connected to Ruby's wrist. Don't go for your hand. This will work if you're stronger than the person, but if they're big and strong, you need to go to here. See how my chest is connected? And I use the rotation of my whole body to go break that grip. Now the elbow's right in the position I want, because we want, it's Ruby's right arm, I want it on my right hip. You don't want it on your left hip, that's an way for them to get out. Real quick for the video, remember Rubes, where you turn your thumb down, walk your legs that way, turn belly down, other way, turn the other way, away from you, keep turning, and you're out. Yeah, go again, and come up, right? So if it's on your left hip, that gives them an escape. We'll go over that one more time. If it's on the right arm is on my right hip is what I want. Ruby wants it on my left hip, and she turns her thumb down, walks her legs around, turns her, and she's out. Perfect. One practice run, very good. Now, come back. So when it's the way I'm breaking this grip break, right? I'm here, everything's solid. I'm setting this up. You've got time here, they're in the bad spot. When you're ready, holding the hip, ready to go, switch it. So I go, so it's already on the right hip. It's already here. Better for me. Then I switch here, break the grip. Now when I go for the finish, look, it's here. So if Ruby tries to roll away now the same way, she's stuck. It's on my right hip. Right arm, right hip, obviously left arm on the other side, left hip. It's all comparison, right? Now, grab over the top, grab underneath, and you've got the two forces now, the pusher and the puller, straight over the hip here. And then we get the tight finish, okay? So you've got the ways to deal with the stacking, you've got ways to deal with them coming back up to the knees, and now you've got finally a grip break to the hip, here, break, take it over, boom. And finally, look how my feet are for leg connection I get here. It's very difficult to be just laying flat on your back with your knees supporting straight up the roof. You bias off to the side here and pulling my heels in. It's a much better connection, and it's a quicker armbar because it's going across the hip. Thanks, Rubes. So there you have it. That's ways you will, you encounter people trying to, stop the Juji Gatame from closed guard, or when they're on the back, maybe you set it up from mount. There's many different ways to do grip breaks, and there's a few other ways to deal with them coming up to their knees or whatever. But that'll, that'll get you going for the start. Hopefully we're back on the mat on Thursday. Like I said in the other videos, please just tag me, let me know you're still training. We're all in lockdown again, and no one likes it, but we're just doing what we can to get by. Doesn't mean we can't keep improving our jiu-jitsu even though we're not on the mat and doing what we want to do. You can always study, you can always watch matches, you can always go over old fight footage if you're a competitor. There's always something you can do. There's yoga, there's running, there's whatever you can. You got to keep the momentum going. You can't just go, lockdown, I'm going to do nothing now and wait until the government says I'm allowed to train again. No, don't leave it up to them. You train every day, no matter what. That's the way a martial artist should live, and that's what you're doing. So live that way. Train every day, no matter what. Please tag me and let me know you are doing it via Instagram, Facebook, however you can. I really appreciate it. It just takes you a second to let me know. And hopefully I'll see you all back at training on Thursday. Thanks, team.